It's coming from a business that has been running ads for a while. They've been getting about like 4 to 5 ROAS, which is very, very decent. And they want to push the ROAS. What happened is, okay, they've been trying to increase the budget because they thought that by increasing the budget, I'm able to get more money out of it. But then again, it's not as straightforward. So how can we push the ROAS further? Now, my first method, when I work with any client who wants to push the ROAS further, I wouldn't say scale the budget right away, because usually that's the last thing I would do. So the first thing I would do is I would dive into the data and see if there are any, like leakages in the entire funnel. We need to fix them first. Like, for example, recently I just experienced a case. They've been getting 10x ROAS, to be frank, about 10 to 12x ROAS, but the margin is really low. But a 10x to 12x ROAS is comfortable for them. But when I dive into their campaign, I realize there is a big gap between add to cart and purchase. Now you see that? Meaning, let's say I think they have about like 10x, meaning they have about like 70 add to cart, for example, and they have only 7 purchase. That means we have a big gap over here. So what can we do? We definitely want to look at the, like from the cart to purchase, is there anything that is stopping the audiences from taking the action? Whether do we need to change the button? Do we need to, like take away certain steps that is stopping people from proceeding to the, like the purchase, the next step? Or is there anything that we can do? So aside from tweaking the landing page, that's one thing that we can look into. We will also look at if there is any other thing that we can optimize. Then we realize the client doesn't have any cut recovery email system in place. Meaning this is quite important, because the moment a person add to cart, meaning they are interested, and if they try to check out, meaning you'll be capturing their email addresses, you can actually, in fact, all e-commerce system allows you to send an email follow-up and remind them about their item in the cart and try to bring them back to sell. Usually, we will get at least 5 to 10% of the cart recovered. Imagine if that can happen to you, meaning you will get, if it's 70, you are getting only 7 purchases. You can potentially get 7 more sales, 3 to 7 more sales for free. That's really something that a lot of brands don't do. But then again, when should we send the email? How many times we need to send the email? What are the messages we need to have in the email itself plays also a very significant role, because before you want to send that, you probably need to get somebody else to come and look at your email marketing system to see whether does your email, whatever SPF and all that is being set right so that it doesn't go into your junk, because that is also an opportunity lost. But then again, these are all the tiny little things that you can do. And on the other hand, we also realize that this client doesn't have what we call a retargeting campaign dedicated setup. And we realize their current top of funnel campaign has been running at a high frequency, but then again, it's over even like the 30 days, they're running at about like 3 frequency, meaning they're losing a lot of money repeating the ads to people who have seen it too many times. See, retargeting is not something that you want to run for long term. In my experience, most of the time, we only retarget for 7 to 14 days. Because let me ask you this question. What do you sell that your audience need to think for about like 30 days to consider whether to buy from you or someone else? The buying intent, whether it has been converted by you or your competitor, or is being subsided away already, meaning you don't want to follow them for that long. So setting up a retargeting is not the same as having a broad targeting Advantage Plus campaign running over and over again. So that's how we fix everything. So we identify what are the leaking points in the campaign, and then we fix them before we talk about increasing. You just imagine if we do all these things, if the email recovery comes in, you probably can just push your ROAS by at least 1 to 2 points, maybe at no cost. And when you are able to apply the retargeting, when the retargeting can give you maybe like 15 to 20x ROAS, when you balance up, you probably will get like 6, 7 ROAS. There are many ways to increase your ROAS before you even think about putting more budget into it, because I've seen so many of them, so many under optimized campaign. And the only thing most advertisers do is to, push the budget, but it's actually throwing money into the drain or into the ocean. So before you do that, that's why I always recommend, before you scale, look at your whole funnel first, making sure that you're not having a lot of leaking points in your campaign before you push it. So if you need help, all you need to do is scan this QR code and that will take you to a link that you can book a 30-minute Zoom call by me and pay for it. So it's a 30-minute Zoom call. Is it enough? Yes, trust me. I've worked with thousands of advertisers from all around the world. These 30 minutes will allow me to do three things. First, I dive into your campaign metrics. From the metric itself, we are already able to unearth a lot of essential information. Of course, we will look at your landing page, your checkout page to confirm the problem, whatever it may be. So once we really identify and confirm the problem, the next thing is let's fix it. Basically, I will give you a plan on what are the things that you can potentially tweak to take your ROAS to the next step. So yeah, that is already good enough for a 30-minute Zoom call to give you a plan. So yeah, if you need help, scan this QR code and I look forward to work with you.